Hello, namaste. क्या हाल है सभी के? You're watching PS Lights Out. This is Shubham with me. It's Pruthvi, and we are back again after a beautiful Mexican Grand Prix or Mexico Grand Prix. I don't know what to say, but this was a very chaotic yet smooth one. Because Carlos Sainz is back on podium with a beautiful gliding uh, Ferrari in front और कोई दूर दूर तक नहीं आ पा रहा था उसके. So beautiful race by him. Prithvi, please, what do you think?
Yeah,
I know you're gonna
fan-
say a lot about science, so go for it.
fantastic, right? Fantastic, and like such a nice description. It was a smooth operation all the way.
Smooth
Like he was
operation.
flying all weekend, like from practice to the quali to the race. It was absolutely amazing. What a fantastic race! Yeah, we keep
It's a disaster
repeating.
not to see him
Uh,
next year, bro. Like in
Yeah,
Ferrari, it's
yeah, it
going to
was
be a
like, yeah,
disaster.
bittersweet, definitely bittersweet because it was heartbreaking. And in fact, it was heartbreaking right after the quali itself, let alone the race win. After he was on
Right.
pole and in his interviews as well, he told the same thing that it's heartbreaking. Obviously, it is because
Exactly.
I mean, a driver plays a big role in making the team where they are. It's not just about
Right.
driving, but all the feedbacks and all the inputs that the driver gives. That's how they modify the cars, and there is so much happening back end as well, right? So
Right.
that's what Sainz was talking about in many of his interviews as well. That itne saal work kiya hai to make Ferrari where it is right now. So after
Right.
working this hard, seeing like living it at its peak, it's really heartbreaking. And it's not just that the Ferrari is at its peak. Carlos Sainz is also at his peak career right now. Like he is flying right
Exactly.
now. So it's
बंदा
very
prove कर रहा है
heartbreaking.
सबको कि यार I am here.
Yeah, and before winning the race, he mentioned that Ferrari would definitely be in the fight for the constructors' championship next year.
Next
But
year. Yeah.
uh, I think they already are. I mean, in Abu Dhabi, we
This
might
year,
see.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
They're
25
just
points.
behind by 70 points.
Right. So
So they
very
are
less
definitely,
points. Yes,
yes.
and by the
Not 70
last
points.
two race consistency,
They're
if we
second.
look at,
Sorry, my bad.
yeah, I mean they
They're already
overtook
second.
Red Bull. Yeah, but
Yes.
now they are like close to McLaren as well if they continue what the trend
20
in the
points.
last two races. Yeah,
So, yeah, I
yeah,
think in last podcast, we actually talked about this that
yeah,
any team making a small or tiny mistake would jumble the top three for sure. और वैसा ही हुआ है. फरारी ने बहुत बड़ा स्टेप लिया. आई थिंक इट वाज डिजर्विंग फरारी 1 and 2.
yep,
But Leclerc had no grip and he did a tiny mistake. That
yeah,
too at a very weird corner. Like I didn't see any other
yeah.
driver going out wide on that turn, but I think there was some traction or push
Yeah,
issue tha. So
but at the
luckily he
same
saved it.
time, yeah, he saved it. That's the main thing, right? Like
Right,
it could have ended really bad, but still he
right.
managed the car at that
Yes.
point, at that speed. So good to
So
see him scoring P3 at
yeah,
least.
and that too, like just 9 laps are remaining. That's
Yep.
why that's why I was actually saying this. Okay, what smooth win tha.
Yeah.
Carlos के लिए. He was just gliding in front. उसको just clean air की जरूरत थी. As soon as he got it, he was just like no one was able
On
to
it,
chase him.
yeah.
At the end, Norris थोड़ा सा पास आ गया था, but
Yeah.
Sainz was like very further away from. So it's all good.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, but I was saying that Ferrari deserved 1 and 2. If
Yep.
that was the case, they would have been like really close to the championship
Yeah.
already. They're already close. Like 30
Yeah.
points is not
Yeah.
that much of a gap. But small mistakes by McLaren again. Like I don't
Yep.
know क्या क्या
Mhm.
ही strategists कर रहे हैं. Like मैं पूरा कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुई है इन लोगों के टीम में. अंदर अंदर कुछ
Yeah.
अल्लाह बदली करी है इन लोगों ने आपस में. So there's some sort of a mess up going on. But yeah, coming back to science, like just a beautiful race by him.
Yep.
Other than
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
like no complaints for Leclerc. It's just one tiny mistake that he did. He had no
Yes.
grip, so again, can't
Yeah.
blame it on him as
It would have been beautiful if they could have managed 1-2 again, but
well. Right. Yeah.
still, double podium is like pretty good, and some pretty good points for them to, like
Exactly.
probably win the constructors as well. They just have to stay consistent, and this too without any upgrades. They didn't bring any upgrades in the past
Major
two,
upgrades. Yeah.
three races yet. They
Yeah.
are like flying right now, properly flying.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's really beautiful, like the story of Ferrari back to the glory. It's so romantic, the red winning the race, like,
Yeah, man.
yep.
Do you think Red Bull might be considering, like, maybe in doubt that they had this like championship winning driver available,
Yeah,
and they like took a very long time for this decision
yeah.
for Paris. They must be in
uh,
doubt, right?
yes. I mean, everyone throughout the paddock, like every team must be regretting right now for not signing signs, like this was a biggie. But
Like
and
this
that's
guy
really
is like
heartbreaking.
a big slap on on all the teams right now. Okay, देखो सालो मैं
Yes,
prove कर
yeah.
सकता हूँ.
Of course, man. Even Mercedes, I think they should have gone for him when there was a chance. But I think we have had enough discussions on this, and yeah, it's really heartbreaking. But let's see, kuch ho to.
Changes हो सके तो. True.
Yes,
But
yes,
yeah, I am then like coming towards like the P2 guy, Mr. Norris. This
yeah,
time I felt he had the fastest car. He had the
yes,
pace क्योंकि दूसरे drivers के पास नहीं थी. I felt that क्योंकि like at
yeah,
the end of it, I could actually see him like getting closer and closer. And I think
yep,
it was just the trail of cars like getting the dirty air. उसकी वजह से शायद उसको affect कर रहा था. But as soon as he got like ahead of Leclerc, बहुत ज़्यादा close आ चुका था वो. So do
yes.
you think that McLaren
100%.
had
Like,
that pace or no?
no, definitely. It's on paper. They were pretty fast. Like, I don't know why Piastri couldn't manage as well as Norris did, but या मैक्स की एक ही लाइक लाइफ का एक ही मोटो है मैक्स का कि वो जीते लाइक वो आगे कोई भी जीते he just doesn't want
हाँ,
Norris to win, that's it, and that's the only way he'll be
exactly.
able to save his
Right.
championship. We'll come to the incident later, but yeah, I agree with you, like if Max didn't do what he did, Norris
Yeah.
definitely would have gone and won this championship. And I think he drove a beautiful race, Norris. Like this is what we expect
Right.
from him, and like even like he didn't get under pressure of Max, and he kept his pace. Like he kept it
Yeah.
smooth as well throughout the race. So it was nice from him. And again,
Very
he
true.
did bring the points down between, like the gap down between Max, but still it's a big gap. So I don't feel like we we would have a fight at the end. Let's see.
True. That brings us like towards PS3. I felt after a very very long chain, um, he's finally like out of the spree. You can say that he was not in Q1. He was not in Q3.
Yep.
Like he was called Mr. Consistent till now. So
Yeah.
बेचारे के साथ बहुत बुरा. But he
Yeah.
did like what he can as much as he can.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Still like not much to talk about him, but he did what he can from like
Yeah.
from almost at the bottom. So like from P17 to P8. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice race for him. Good
That's a
overtakes
really
as well.
nice race,
Like pretty
but
clean.
yeah, like since Ferrari are like consistently, both the drivers are getting on podium since last couple of races. In order to save the constructor title, they need like both the drivers up there. So
On
this
the top.
is
Yeah.
gonna hurt. Like this are the time when they need both the drivers up there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel this is where McLaren is lacking, like the proper team strategist and proper
yeah,
team. What do you call, like, I don't know how to say this, but when it comes to Mercedes, when it comes to Red Bull, they have these people like they know what they are doing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
No, not
definitely.
any mistakes nahi karte. They know what like plan is
Yeah,
going to be. They stick to it and they just roll after that. So I
yeah,
think McLaren and Ferrari they both mess up in this category for sure. It's not the drivers, it's not the car sometimes, but
yeah.
yeah, it's
They are not
just
used
other
to winning, is all.
factors. Right, like tiny decisions which lead to
Yeah.
not winning a championship in a way.
And this is really interesting because we have no idea what will happen in 25 in terms of, like, even though the cars will be same, let's see how they plan out the strategy next year. Obviously,
Right.
Sir Lewis Hamilton would be in Ferrari, so there is that.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, they McLaren needs to sort things out in terms of the strategy and everything if they want to continue their
Yeah.
winning trend. Let's see what happens next year.
Nice. There was this news going on as well that the bottom team will get the most wind tunnel time.
Yeah,
So
of
yeah,
course,
Kick
yes.
Sauber going towards Audi will get the
Yeah,
most wind tunnel time for 2026. So in future we'll have like we might see a good Audi car in competition, but for next year we are definitely like one position would affect a lot. So
yeah,
that's why we are seeing Ferrari and McLaren in a good competition as of now.
yes,
So yeah. Coming to the incident. Okay, this is where like things get interesting because
yeah.
my man here, Pruthvi, is a big fan of Max.
No, but
So what do you think? What is your take? Is it his fault? What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I
What's going on?
mean, this is one thing, one like incident where all the Max fans and like all the Max lovers and haters all are like in one sync. Like this was
Okay,
much deserved, and like there is no
right.
doubt. Like it was unfair racing throughout. Like not both the incident were unfair, that you can see on board, like overtaking off the
Yes.
track, pushing the driver off the track. So this
After
was
the track.
very aggressive. Like there is a fine line difference between driving aggressively, which is like Max's classic style, and driving unfairly. And this definitely was
Right.
on the unfair side of the driving. So definitely not something we expect from a world champion, you know. So
Yeah.
this is pretty unfair.
It's. I think Verstappen drives with this logic of that movie that if you see a gap and you don't go for it, then it's not. It's
Yeah,
not. You don't call yourself a racing driver, right?
yeah.
So that's
No,
that's how he drives. Like
no, definitely it's his driving style, and that's what makes an F1 driver a world champion if they are like on the edge of all the rules, right? F1 rules. And that's
yes,
how
yes,
it has been. But like I said, there is a fine line difference, and this was definitely crossing that line. So, yeah, all of
true.
them are agreeing to that. And I don't even feel that the penalties were harsh. Like 20 seconds was like for what he
Yeah.
did, and it also sets a benchmark for other drivers, you know, to not have like not do unfair racing, and they'll be
Right.
more fair.
Yeah.
So
Just go for more cleaner race, and yeah,
talking about
you'll be
unfair
judged accordingly.
talking about unfair races, that brings us to Red Bull's other driver, the Mexico's hero.
We have had enough of him.
Yeah, we have had enough of him, but yeah,
Yeah.
from a human perspective, I do feel bad for him on this one because the crowd was like really, really good, and like they even
Yeah.
when he was not on top, like he was fighting with the back, like people, all of the crowd used to
Yeah.
cheer every time he laps, you know, even in practice, whenever he's going through, the crowd cheers for him. So it's kind of
Right.
sad in human perspective, but in terms of racing, I don't think he deserves a seat anymore. I think
True.
if I was in his shoes right now, I'll just, you know, in
Yeah.
his helmet right now to be uh yeah,
Yes, helmet. Yeah.
I would just simply remove that helmet and like keep it as a proud possession, and like never wear it again, man. Like this is
Bro, like
shameful, and you should
it's we've been talking
respectfully
about
just
it.
resign. Yeah,
We have been talking about this that banda क्वालिफाइंग में ही इतना पीछे हो जाता है, तो लाइक कंपटीशन कैसे होगा? वो
Yep.
बेचारा मैक्स अकेले अकेले पूरी टीम को कैरी कर रहा है और वो सैक कर रहा है एक तरफ से पूरी टीम को.
Very,
So
very
yeah, bro.
unexpected.
Yeah,
At
and
least
this man
at
has
this point,
next
like,
year's seat as well. So
yeah.
it's pretty weird.
And Red Bull has already dropped to P3, so like in the constructors championship.
Yes,
So that's really bad, and like all the credit goes to Paris for this.
Paris. Yes, of course, of course. Um, yeah, like the at the end of the day, like it comes to money, and like it's going to affect them a lot. Like be like third position in the constructor championship, it's like a huge bump in millions and millions of dollars.
Yep,
So Red Bull को affect बहुत करने वाला है ये चीज. And since the
definitely.
cost cap is going on, they have to be under that. So
Yep.
of course, difficult going to be, like I don't think that next year Red Bull would be fighting for the constructor if
Yeah,
that's the scenario.
and Adrian Newey is no more in the team, so there is that.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the biggest thing. It's more important than Max
Yep,
Verstappen, I feel.
yep, indeed. But yeah, there are like high speculation Liam would be replacing Perez, the guy who showed middle finger to Perez. That was, I don't know, man. Like
That was
things
too
went
funny, bro.
really
That was too good.
bad, but as a young rookie just joining, man, this is unrespectful. I feel like, especially in
Yeah.
Mexico itself. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel it's very like there were some statements made by, I don't know his name. I forgot the name, but he's like one of the top guys of Red Bull. So he said this, like Liam did a very immature move by doing this,
yeah,
showing off middle finger to Paris, and he should not be fighting with the Red Bull car. That's what his statement was. And I feel like even though you cannot say like it's a secondary team, you cannot fight with the other team. Like it's going to be like, but it's not an equal competition, right? At the end of the day, they are both racers, so
yep,
they
yep.
will fight on the track.
No, obviously
So
they
can't deny that.
they need to fight. Yeah. On a side note, that's like 3 a.m. right now here on a Tuesday, so it's not even a
I just
weekend, and
finished
we
work.
really we really wanted this podcast to happen. And I'm having a bit of cold and like it's really
Oh,
late, so please pardon my low energy here. But yeah, we were really looking forward to
आज
this
तो रेड
podcast.
बुल भी जान नहीं बचा सकती तेरी.
Yeah, and like the US timings plus the triple header is really an inconvenient for us to
Right.
like shoot a podcast right after the race. That's what we usually do, but yeah, and just trying to stay consistent here.
Sadly, it is what it is. Can't help it. So it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
coming back to the constructors, we cannot talk much about Paris because it's just going to be bad and bad.
yeah,
It's getting worse, I would say, like after
yeah,
each Grand Prix. So
yeah,
there's nothing much to talk about him. But yes, good thing Mercedes is back. Fourth
yep,
and fifth. I'm happy for them. They were fighting. I was very, very
yeah,
shocked. Like, why are these guys fighting? And I feel this time,
yep,
being at the fourth position, they are not competing with any team above them or below them.
yeah,
I think they let them fight. Like they're like they don't
yeah,
care anymore. So they're like, "तो
yeah,
लड़ो तुम, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता."
yeah,
And I feel if it would have been very mature, like having George and Hamilton fight, if they were like fighting for the constructor, like if they were at
definitely,
the
yeah,
first position, तो बहुत ये चीज बहुत controversial हो जाती. But
yes,
because they are like a little bit below the grid, I feel it's just getting on the side. But a good race by Hamilton, like he did like an
yeah,
amazing job.
beautiful,
Russell
beautiful.
did some immature moves, I feel, right? Did you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that?
yeah, I felt the same thing. Like Hamilton drove beautifully, and like the overtake was really nice. There was some
Nice.
good racing
Exactly.
going on between the two.
Right.
But yeah, again, Russell lacks consist.
So,
Yeah, never mind.
दिख रहा है असर हो रहा है सुबह के 5 बजे का.
But yeah, I mean, like we keep sometimes we feel Russell is underrated driver. Like he doesn't get enough credits for his good drives. But
Yes.
again, like then there are moments like Singapore last year where I don't know why
Yeah.
I keep bringing last year Singapore, but that was one of the most
I was like,
shocking.
अरे यार ये क्या कर रहा है
क्या
भाई?
कर दिया ब्रो.
तौबा तौबा
But
तौबा
anyway, like
मेरे लिए ये था.
let's hope Mercedes, get back to the fight on top next year. Like they find some
Of
extra
right.
seconds here and there. But
Yeah.
good to
This
see.
season, I feel like first three are competing. Fourth is Mercedes. Like there's no one above them, no one below them. So there's
Yep.
no competition. And then like the rest of the grid, like fifth, sixth, seventh,
Yeah,
they are fighting.
even fifth is like properly set, right? Aston Martin is also
Yeah,
in
Aston
Nobel's.
Martin. You don't know like after this race. Let's talk about Haas. What a
Yeah,
beautiful Grand Prix! Like
what
Magnussen
a
finishing
beautiful. I mean,
P7, Herkabun at P9. Like both of them, like they were cruising. They were like just having their own race. It was a
yeah.
beautiful race. Like कोई एफर्ट्स नहीं ज्यादा मतलब कुछ मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ी बहुत स्मूथली रेस खत्म की आई फेल्ट लाइक नीचे भी थोड़ा कंसिडर करना चाहिए हमें बट ब्यूटीफुल रेस बाय
No,
मैग्नसन
no.
आई
I
लव्ड
mean,
इट
if uh, इतना सब नहीं हुआ होता आगे, like Sainz winning and like there is an
राइट
incident between
सो मच ड्रामा
yeah. We would have started this podcast right from Has, like because they are
हाँ
the underdogs. They are the ones who deserve like all the credits like in the world. In fact, my driver of the day would be K-Mag if Carlos was not on top
yes
throughout.
yes
So
nice I like
K-Mag
that
in P7 was beautiful. Like has
nice
is like back to its glory days. This tells you like huge respect to Gunther Steiner. Like he is a TV
हाँ,
star and everything. Like his aura and he's still really famous, right? Not just through. I
yeah
obviously it was through Drive to Survive, but even
yeah
after that, his charm and everything is great. But that
right
doesn't win you championships or that doesn't give you points. That's what I feel
exactly
like. Right now, the principal
yes
is doing an amazing job. Like in the beginning, as was like we'll be easily we are going to be P10, and that's our lowest like expectations we are having with
right
this year's car. But like seeing them where they are right now, it's beautiful. Like amazing, amazing.
exactly we talked about this like back I think like couple of Grand Prix like maybe 6 7 Grand Prix we talked about this they've
Yeah.
both finished in points and they were like so कि
Yep.
मैक हास का ग्राफ ऐसे ही होता है कि वो एक रेस में दोनों ड्राइवर्स बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करेंगे हमारी हाई होप्स हो जाएगी एंड देन लाइक फॉर फ्यू रेसेस दे विल बी आउट फॉर लाइक ऑल द
Yeah.
टाइम दिखेंगे ही नहीं फिर अचानक से वापस आएंगे सो आई थिंक
Yeah.
बैक टू बैक दो रेसेस
Yeah,
से
yeah.
हमें
Nahi,
हाथ दिख रही
if we look back throughout the season, this season was like one of their best seasons. Like obviously they scored the
आफ्टर
highest
आफ्टर
point
मे बी
this
लाइक
season.
फोर years I guess
Yes, definitely. But
yeah.
they have been pretty consistent this year, I feel.
This year
So
it's okay yeah but yeah they can definitely fight with Aston Martin now so
yes.
as of now Aston Martin is at 86 they are at 46
Uh,
I'm not sure
no,
they can
not possible. I
actually fight
mean, they can't
with
know,
like
bro.
by six by six.
That's like
If
four.
one of the drivers finishes up at the top, you don't know.
No, man. Like top three are like all flying right now, so there is
yeah,
no hope for that. But
yes.
yeah, I mean they are getting pretty close, and
They have a good fight with the Red Bull. So Red
yeah,
Bull is at 36, they are at 46. So there's a good
yeah.
fight going on below them. So they'll have to
Yeah, I
be
mean they
very careful.
crossed the
They're
V
doing
carb,
good.
and now they are like comfortably sitting at P6, and I feel they'll stay there for sure, and that's going to be an
Right.
excellent result for that if they manage that,
Yeah.
and they are managing it pretty well. And one other thing like that we don't talk about when we talk about Haas is like they are currently the most value for money team because they are spending the least amount of dollars
Least
compared to all the other team, and
other
then
teams. Yes.
then to achieving these results it's like
Results is amazing. Yeah.
Sauber, are you
Definitely.
listening?
They're not going to work on their team. They are just saving up money as much as they can just for
Yeah,
the 2026. So
yeah.
Audi it is going to be. Then we'll be talking about Sauber. Uh,
Yeah.
so we'll wait till then.
Yup. Yup.
But yeah, that brings
Baki
us to the fighting team.
Alonso.
Alonso not being part of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
sadly,
I mean,
post Grand
400
Prix.
Grand Prix ended really badly. Baki Aston
Yeah.
Martin, nothing much happened. But yeah, week up. What do you think?
Before we come, I want to talk about one more beautiful race, one more
Yeah.
beautiful drive
Yeah.
uh, by Pierre Gasly. So finally, Alpine scored 1 point
Yes.
after I don't know ages.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
happy for Gasly.
Happy for
Uh,
them. Yeah.
least most talked about person this year,
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
deserving a lot and still not being in the chat. So
Yeah.
maybe
And in
made a wrong decision moving to Alpine, but कुछ नहीं कर सकते ये साल उनकी कार बहुत ही ज्यादा खराब है
yeah.
and with that car like finishing P10 it's pretty amazing.
Yes, yes, and I'm glad it was Gasly and not Ocon because he's going to be
Ocon.
the one staying next year. So it
Yes, yeah,
gives a
exactly.
bit of confidence that yeah, I mean there is still hope. I
He
guess.
deserved the seat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
pretty good.
pretty good country. Yes, of course. Gasly, much love.
Mhm.
uh, then comes yeah VCarb. You wanted to talk about VCarb, so yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but yeah, you go for it.
uh, no, nothing really. Actually, there is not much we can talk other than
I know what to
yeah,
talk about this
yeah,
time then.
yeah. Please go
So
ahead.
okay,
Yeah,
uh, Mr. Yuki Tsunoda
yeah,
crashing very badly in
yeah.
practice, getting the car fixed, coming back, and then crashing the car again. I'm like, ये क्या हो रहा है? And these guys, they did an amazing job after qualifying. Like in the crash, after the crash, they fixed the car for the race. It was
Yeah.
okay, and again, it was like a huge crash, and this time, like it's like double the work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So VCARB, it's going to be very tough for them this time.
I don't think it was Yuki's fault though, because he had no
It,
space. Definitely a
yeah,
racing
this
incident
was called as
because
a racing incident. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So like,
Because it
it's
was
not
at the
not his
start,
fault at
so
all.
definitely not his fault. But yeah, I mean, definitely Albon and Yuki both are getting under pressure by the rookies. So
Yes, and his
let's
teammate fighting with Perez. Oh my god,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Liam Lawson.
Liam Lawson. Let's see. I mean,
You
this
think
was
he would
I
be?
I had
What is your take on this? Like he's moving towards a Red Bull team.
yeah. I mean, I had huge respect for him, but you know that one little dashboard footage was something
Yeah,
that like lost a bit of respect, I guess, because I mean,
but you're forgetting that he's a kid
yeah, yeah,
again.
definitely he is a kid. Like at 18, at 20 or something, like is really young.
Yeah,
He is. Getting a drive and getting an opportunity. So I don't blame him as per, but yeah, I mean he needs to get his maturity straight because when you compare him with Colapinto, I think, and even Oliver Bearman, they both are like
yeah,
doing a great job off the track as well, right? And you need to
right,
stay. Like the reason why Yuki is not like being talked like as a competitor for the Red Bull team is because of this very
right,
reason, because he was not like they don't consider him mature
fair enough.
enough even though after all these
Yes,
years. So
right,
there needs to be some like a headspace and everything. You need to be in that when you are in the top
right,
team, because you know there is marketing involved, there is all the other things other than just the driving part, unless you are Max
right.
Verstappen, you know, who were
Yeah,
like what he was last year.
ex- yeah, of course. Yeah, maturity is like it plays a big role in here. I think that's similar incident happened with Russell and Bottas when he was in Williams,
Yeah.
and there was like a huge crash in Imola.
Yep.
So something similar happened. Like it felt very aggressive, but like later on, Russell said sorry. So
Yeah.
I feel like at that time I felt Russell is very immature. Like, why is he doing this? Like, there
Yeah,
was no space.
definitely. The maturity comes with with experience, and I think he would be regretting it right now as well. Like when he watches that. But
Right.
yeah, I think he has a good chance in replacing Paris next year. Let's
Hope
see.
so. I would like to see that too. Like
Yeah,
Paris, I think we had like a good
yeah,
enough
yeah, yeah.
talk about him. So
Yeah, yeah. Red
let's
Bull
skip.
needs a new blood.
Needs a new blood, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. What we are left with, it's Williams, and last thing we don't talk anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
Williams. Colapinto had a beautiful race. P12 finish. Sadly, Albon crash.
No.
DNF. So
Yeah.
couldn't finish up the
The
race properly.
moment Colapinto entered the team, Albon कहाँ गया पता ही नहीं चल रहा. Like, like
Yeah,
it's the
thoda,
coincidence, and I think like
that's true.
Williams' team, like James Holmes, might be thinking, did I just sign the wrong guy or what? No, but
Yeah, there's like he's proving that, yeah, like he's there, like he's the young talent that everyone
yeah, and
should
they'll
look at.
regret, giving up on Colapinto. Like there are rumors that even he has a chance in Red Bull or something.
Exactly, you
You
never
never
know.
know.
There are plenty of chances. Like there's
Yeah,
seats open, so
yep,
drivers,
yep.
there are lots of drivers available.
And
Uh,
after what he has
yeah,
performed in the last three races, I would be surprised if like Colapinto is not there in the next year, like for the next
season.
year.
Yeah,
But obviously,
right,
Williams has locked in Albon for multi-year contract, and like Sainz is joining, so the recent race winner would be joining the team.
right,
So like there is no hope there, so they'll have to give up to some other team. But let's see how it
right.
goes. It will be interesting anyways.
True. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't talk about Sauber here, so let's skip that.
Yeah, please
We'll talk in
check out
2026.
other.
Yeah.
Yes, please check out other podcast for this.
If you want to know insights of Sauber, please go to other channels. We don't talk about them here.
But anyways,
But
like we can like they entered Q3, like Q2, right? One Sava was
yeah,
in Q2, so
yes, yes.
respect to that.
That was
That's
very
the one
unusual. It's like, what?
sentence.
ये कैसे हो
Yeah,
गया?
ये कैसा होगा? Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty much it, I guess.
Um. Next up, we have Brazil. It's going to be fun. I feel
Yeah,
so much
Sao
chaos
Paulo.
going on amongst the top three. So it's
Yeah,
definitely going to be a good, interesting
it's
one.
kind
Just
of a
hope for that.
Mercedes track as well. Russell had his first win there, so
I even if it's a Mercedes track, I don't think so. They will be competing like in top
yeah,
as of now,
yeah.
because
No,
yeah,
no,
like
they are not
the
consistent.
pace is
Even
huge.
yeah.
There's a
I
huge
mean,
gap.
there was an interview with a Mercedes guy, and he told that there is a very fine operating window where a Mercedes
Okay,
is performing the best. If there is like a difference in temperature, track temperature, or wind
right.
or something, then the
Yeah,
car is just gone. So
makes sense.
anyway, uh, still it's
Ooh,
going to be very exciting. I'm just hoping
yes,
like Ferrari gets double podium again, but
right.
let's see how it goes.
Cool. Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one then.
Yep. If you are still
Cool. Thank you so much
here,
for watching.
thank you.
If you're still here, please comment down below if you have something to say. Please हमारी voices पे मत जाना, दोनों को सर्दी हो रखी है. वो बेचारा सुबह के 5 बजे उठ के बैठा हुआ है.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, but thank you so much, guys. If you
thank
have
you guys.
stayed till now, that's really a big thing for us. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yep. Bye. Peace.